It will take anything with it. And if you cannot swim, you're going somewhere that you should not be. Yeah, I was terrified, but I learned my lesson. G'day everyone, it's Jeff here again from Bondi Rescue. Some may say, I may say, that I'm somewhat of a safety expert. And that's why I'm here today to teach you about rips and staying safe in rips, because this is the safety series. Or, as I like to call it, Jeff's tips with rips.
Every year, over 12,000 people are saved from rips across Australia. 3,000 are saved at Bondi alone by lifeguards and volunteer lifesavers.
The rip at Backpackers is pretty strong, and no different to all the rips. Most of the rips right along the beach are pretty strong.
A rip is just a passage of water moving back out to sea, because the water has to go somewhere. It came in and it's got to go back out. So it picks the deepest channel it can find and it makes its way back out to sea, back out to its home where it came from, and that is what we call a rip. People often use the phrase flash rip. Now what they'll be referring to is a rip that is not in a permanent position, a rip that starts semi out of nowhere. A few waves might break and the water just goes, you know what, I'm gonna nick off now, I'm gonna pop off right here. So that water just goes, hooroo, see you later, and goes back out to sea wherever it was, and then you can have a little flash rip that might only last 2 or 3 minutes, or even less.
The back of them flags, it's starting to get really strong, that rip. There's a lot of swimmers starting to go out to sea.
The clubbies are waving off the back of the flags again. Nicola, straight in front of you.
As I got out there, just more and more heads kept popping up, screaming for help.
Hold on.
Rips can be dangerous because people don't understand that there is a large volume of water moving back out to sea, and with that volume of water moving back out to sea, it will take anything inside it with it. And if you cannot swim, you're going somewhere that you should not be. There's a lot of ways to spot a rip. Most commonly, you'll have 2 sandbanks either side, waves breaking, that's the water coming in, and in between those sandbanks we'll have our deep channel. There'll be what appears to be still, deeper, blue water, and that's where all that water's moving back out. But sometimes rips can be pretty hard to spot. You know, people that go to the beach all the time and think they know what they're doing, look for those obvious signs, and it can be a bit blurred, the lines can be blurred, but if you look for those signs, you got a head start.
I've noticed these 2 heads at third ramp, that's just to the right of the tower, and they're going down pretty quick, so I knew I needed to get there as quick as I could.
Just meters from shore, a couple have been overpowered by a surging rip, pulling them out to sea.
The best way to get out of a rip is to swim parallel to the rip. Now that is not to be confused with swimming parallel to shore, which is something that I see on the beach all the time. Rips don't always go straight back out to sea. Rips can go this direction, this direction, this direction. All you need to know is to get out of that rip is to go across parallel from the rip. So whatever direction that might be, it might be out to sea. Go that line. Or put your hand up, because we're coming to get you. Your boy's coming. The first thing I think about when I think about rips is my dad. Why do you think about your dad when you think about rips, Jeff? Well, let me tell you why. Because Dad wanted to teach me the lessons I'm trying to teach you today when I was about 4 years old. He said, Jethro, come here, hold on to this bodyboard. And I said, where are we going, Dad? He goes, don't worry about where we're going, you're going. And he took me across. I thought it was all fun and games. We were on our little Christmas holiday. He took me to the corner where there was a permanent rip. And he was teaching a lesson to my sister and my brother at the same time, who knew what was going on the beach. And Dad placed me in the rip on my pink bodyboard and sent me. And I just went along the rocks at quite a pace. I was terrified. I was going further and further and further away. In my head, there was 6-foot waves breaking out the back. And he said, and Dad's just saying, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you doing? And I said, I'm not gonna do anything. And he's like, good. Hold on, see what happens. And I just went out in this rip along the rocks, and Dad just stood on the beach, and then the rip just plopped me out into the waves. I copped a few waves on the head, and it washed me back to shore. Yeah, I was terrified, but I learned my lesson. I didn't end up in the middle of the ocean. I'm still here today. And from that day on, I wasn't scared of rips. So summing up, rips, keep an eye on them. They can be dangerous, but you can negotiate them. Stay in the flags. Really, that's all Jeff's tips with rips. This is a safety series. Stay safe, enjoy the water. Keep on keeping on. But stay out of rips, please.